An eternal loser. We all thought that's what Arsenal was meant to be. They have not won the Premier League for more than 20 years now and just came out from two back-to-back heartbreaks. So how did they pull this off? Well, let's start with the first reason, the team chemistry. When we look at all the champions in Europe, such as PSG, Bayern Munich, Barcelona or Inter Milan, they all have something in common. A core of players that have been playing together for multiple years now. And this is the same for Arsenal. Even though they had new additions this summer, such as Christian Mosquera, Kepa and Norgard, those are players that barely got involved during the season. Then we have Eberechi Eze and Noni Madueke, who are rotation players and were not always starting when the full team was healthy. And finally, we have Zubimendi and Gyökeres, who were the only two new players that got mostly involved this season. But the rest of them, such as Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel, Saliba, Merino, Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, joined the team for more than 2 years now. So those players already have those tactical automatism. They are well organized together, they know each other's tendencies, and this is something that is always undervalued when we look at football team. It's not just about the talent, it's also about understanding the preferences of the players around you. And that's the biggest strength Arsenal got. Then we have the second reason, the squad depth. Arsenal players are not elite players. Except Declan Rice and David Raya, who are probably top 3 or top 5 at their position. The rest, they are good, maybe very good for some of them, but I wouldn't call them elite. But on top of the chemistry, they have players on the bench that can sub in without losing a lot of value. Arsenal is a team that suffered a lot of injuries throughout the season. Merino and Timbers have been out at the end of the season. Then we have Kai Havertz, who missed quite some time. Same for Odegaard and Saka, who missed few games. Despite that, Arsenal was always able to rotate and have players that started without losing a lot of value. Then we have Max Doman, this young Arsenal player that rised in and played a huge role in critical situations. When we look at other teams in the Premier League, few of them can afford such a good rotation. Chelsea, as soon as they lost Estevao, it became very complicated for them. Same for Liverpool and Isaac, or Tottenham that also suffered a lot of injuries and are currently fighting for relegation. Then we have the third reason, David Raya. This year he became a top 3, if not the best keeper in Europe. Every time Arsenal was under pressure, he managed to keep a clean sheet, ranking as the number 1 in the league with 4 more clean sheets than Donnarumma the second, which is huge. On top of that, David Raya is not a typical keeper. He's a sweeper keeper, a keeper that can pass the ball around, allowing the team to break the opponent pressing and counter-attack very fast. He's also very good at managing the space, so the defense can play higher. He has the same value as a striker, scoring 20 plus goals this season, so he also played a huge role. We were expecting players like Saka or Declan Rice to carry the team, but well, this season it was David Raya. Then we have the coach, the best coach in England, the head coach of Arsenal, Nicolas Jover. The one responsible for more than 25% of Arsenal goals, the one who taught them how to shoot those corners and free kick and allowing Arsenal to win 25 games with a goal on set piece. So without Nicolas Jover, they would have lost a lot of games, they wouldn't have won the league, and on top of that he managed to adapt to defenses, because at the end of the season we could see that Arsenal was not always shooting direct corners, they were also alternating with short corners, passing the ball and building up, allowing players to shoot from outside the box. Arsenal have many ways of scoring on corners, and we could already see Nicolas Jover impact 2 seasons ago. He joined in 2021, but in the 23-24 season, Arsenal matched the record of goals scored on corners with 16 of them. So Nicolas Jover is the best coach we can find at Arsenal now. And Arteta, well, he did offer some good football a few years ago, but this season Arsenal was much better on dead ball. Then they also benefited from their rivals, who all collapsed. City, we could already see from last season that it was not the same as before. This season, although they added a lot of talented players, they still did not have the same chemistry that Arsenal had. Chelsea Football Corporation, on the other hand, they should have more chemistry, but well, they decided to sack Enzo Maresca in the middle of the season for no real reason, just to go with LinkedIn Liam, but then after a few months they realized that it wasn't the answer and gave up on the Rosignol project. Liverpool, on the other end, decided to stick with a coach that is probably not the best option, but well, let's see next season. At the end of the day, after spending a lot of money to get two strikers with the same profile, one of them got injured, Salah started some drama, and then we have old players such as Van Dijk who are closer to retirement than they are to their prime. Manchester United also had a very interesting summer, but they realized too late that Ruben Amorim was a fraud, and once they got Michael Carrick, it went a lot better, but well, they couldn't come back on Arsenal. Then we have Tottenham. Well, should we talk about Tottenham? I mean, keep making bad decisions years after years, so I don't even know if now they should be seen as a contender. So the only team other than City that could have still been an issue to Arsenal was Aston Villa, but Aston Villa was not built to win the Premier League. I mean, they still managed to compete, but as soon as they lost Boubacar Kamara, it became very complicated for them, and they had nobody on the bench to replace him. But you know, even after all these reasons that I just mentioned, Arsenal could have still lost the Premier League if it wasn't for the media fueling them with the bottle storyline. This pressure actually motivated Arsenal to make sure that they are not fumbling the title this time. I mean, we saw Arteta carrying the bottle around, so you know, at the end of the season, I don't even believe he had to make a speech to motivate the player. He just had to put the bottle in the middle of the locker room, and they were already motivated to not lose the game. The end of the season of Arsenal was nothing spectacular. They were just making sure that they were winning every game, no matter how, and as soon as they were scoring the first goal, they were making sure that they were not conceding one. They played every game as a final, and I think the media falling into that bottle storyline was the final reason needed for Arsenal to win the Premier League. You know what? I don't think I could have ended the video without a little bit of Arsenal hate, because, well, they deserve it. They deserve it. There's one reason that actually did not help Arsenal to win the league: the fan base. Because, well, Arsenal fan base probably became one of the worst this season. Arsenal fans don't believe in their team. I mean, there's two different types of fans. There's the one that is actually here to hate on the team. They just keep complaining over and over again. They never believe that they could have won. They always thought that City would have been the champion. So, you know, it's almost as if they were not rooting for their own team. And as a football fan, it's very frustrating to see those type of people win. Then we have the other type, which is at the other extreme of the fan base, the delusional one.
To me, next season we can win the quadruple. People might laugh because
the quadruple.
Absolutely.
The one that think that every Arsenal player deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. They would tell you that Declan Rice is the best player in the world. They would tell you that Saka is one of the best winger in the Premier League history. They will say that Gyökeres is an elite striker. And for some reason, they will never give any credit to David Raya. So you start wondering if they actually watch the game and if they actually know football. But well, let's see, let's let them celebrate. You know, they still have one game left to play, the Champions League final, and this time they will face the real King of England, the real Premier League champion, PSG.